Hi everybody, this video is on horizontal and vertical lines, and the 4 exercises that are in this video are asking us to do the same thing as the video before this, but these are like special cases of the exercises that we did before. So we're going to jump right into exercise number 1, and as you can see it says find 4 solutions to the linear equation 1x plus 0y equals 9, and then plot all the solutions, which again is the same thing we did before. So usually in this table here we have the equation listed right in this center box. So I'm just going to put this right in here, and I want to come up with some x's that would work, or I could try to plug in for x in this equation. But before I even do that, here's why it's a special case, because notice you have 0 times y. Well, 0 times anything is just 0, so we could really take this 0y right out, and the whole equation boils down to x equals 9. Alright, so when I come up with values to plug in for x, well, the only thing to make this true would be x equal to 9. So all of these, all the way down this column, is going to have to be equal 9, because it tells me right in the equation itself x has to equal 9. Alright? Now if you notice, the y variable is totally gone. So y really can be anything it wants to be in this equation. So I can make it a 2, I could make it a 3, I could make it a 7, I could make it a -4, I could make it a 0 if I want to. Alright? So these points all have 9 as an x value in this equation. Alright, and that's going to make it really easy to graph. And we'll do that in just a minute here once I finish putting those down. Okay, so let's graph those points. 9 comma 2, well, I go over 9 and I go up 2. And 9 comma 3, again, I go over 9 and I go up to 3. 9 comma 7 would be right here. 9 comma -4 would be right here. 9 comma 0 is right here. And as you can see, all of these points line up right on this vertical line. Just like that. Alright, and I do the same thing. I'm going to label this x equals 9, because that is the equivalent equation to this one right up here. Okay? And in fact, what you're going to find is that every equation, every linear equation that has x equal to some number, just like this one, they are always going to be vertical lines. Alright, just like this one is here. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward example there. We're going to have some others that are horizontal lines, so let me get this one erased and let's go on to exercise 2. Well, here's exercise 2, and you can see that this equation is even more simplified than the one before. Alright, so it says find 4 solutions to the linear equation x equals 3, then plot all the solutions. So very similar to the last one. I'll put x equals 3 right in here, and when I go to fill in the x values, well, it tells me right in the equation that x has to equal 3. So all of these values have to be a 3. That's the only thing that works. And just like the last one, y can be anything it wants, because there is no y in this equation. So I can plug in a 0, I can plug in a 4, I can plug in a 5. How about a -7? Sure. -9? Absolutely. Alright, so this is 3 comma 0. This is 3 comma 4. 3 comma 5. 3 comma -7. And 3 comma -9. And again, it's going to be a vertical line, because if I graph each one of these points, it always goes to x equals 3, and then the first one stays at 0, and then goes up or down whatever your y value is. So the next one is 3, 4. The next one is 3, 5. The next one is 3, -7. I'm going to count down to that one. And 3, -9. It'll be right down here. So again, if I connect those points, I get a vertical line. Just like the one before. Whenever it is x equal to a number, you are always going to get a vertical line. So there is x equals 3. It's that easy. Alright, so let me clear the deck and we will go on to number 3. Okay guys, here's exercise 3, and again they're asking us to do the same thing, and you can see this equation up here is a little more expanded out, so we're going to simplify it first. If I start with 0x plus 1y equals -4, and think about 0 times x, that is going to go to 0, so really this whole equation is y equals -4. Alright, now this one's a little different because before we had x equals something. Well, this one tells us y equals something. So I'm going to do this one a little bit different in that I'm going to fill in all the y values first. Alright, because the equation says y has to equal 4. Or -4, sorry. So I'm just going to list all of those, and for x, well, there's no x in the equation anymore, so x can be anything. So I'm just going to go 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and graph those points. 0, -4 would be down 4. I go to the right or left of 0, and I just go down 4. Alright, so that's 0, -4. 1, -4, it means I go over to 1 and down to the -4. 2, -4 would be right here. 3, -4, and 4, -4. So you can see, now this one, since it says y equals something, those always give me a horizontal line like that, and I just label it as y equals -4. I put a little arrow there too if I want. Alright, so when it boils down to y equals a number, then it's always going to be a horizontal line. Alright, and the easiest way to remember, if you can't remember horizontal or vertical, if you don't remember the difference, I always think the horizontal it goes along with my horizon, right? And the horizon is where the sky meets the land. So that's always a little trick that I use to remember, which is horizontal. So there you go. That was pretty easy. Let's go right on to the next one. I'm just going to turn that off and turn this next one on, and as you can see, this equation is already simplified for us. It says find 4 solutions to the equation y equals 2. And again, well, y has to equal 2. The equation tells me that. So I'm just going to put 2's right down the line here. And there are no x's in the equation at all, so I can put anything I want in for x. So I'm just going to do the same thing. 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright, and there's my points. So 0, 2 would be right here. 1, 2 is here. 2, 2, and 3, 2, and 4, 2. Alright, and again, it's going to be a horizontal line. And I think I summarized this for you right at the bottom of your note packet. But every time, I'm going to say it anyways, every time you have x equal some number, it's a vertical line. Alright, and every time you have y equal some number, it is a horizontal line. Alright, so really, like I said before, this is really like special cases of what we were doing in the last section. Alright, so that's about it. That's a pretty short video for you. So have a good night, and we'll see you later.